The story and traditions of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is one of the most special holidays in the United States. It is a time for giving thanks, sharing, and spending time with family and friends. On this day, families gather around the table to enjoy a big meal, to talk, laugh, and give thanks for all the good things in their lives. In the spirit of kindness, many people also volunteer at community centers or homeless shelters, helping to serve warm meals to those in need. Thanksgiving is celebrated every year on the fourth Thursday of November, so the date changes a little from year to year. The idea of celebrating a good harvest is not unique to America. Almost every culture in the world has special festivals to give thanks for food and abundance. But the American Thanksgiving tradition began nearly 400 years ago, in the early 1600s. In 1620, a small ship called the Mayflower crossed the Atlantic Ocean. On board were a group of settlers known as the Pilgrims. They left England because they wanted religious freedom and a chance to build a new life in the New World. The Pilgrims landed in what is now the state of Massachusetts, but their first winter was very hard. They arrived too late to plant crops, and food was scarce. Many became sick, and almost half of them died. When spring arrived, the Native Americans, or Indians, helped them survive. A man named Squanto, from the Wampanoag tribe, taught the Pilgrims how to plant corn, a food that was completely new to them. The Native Americans also showed them how to grow beans and pumpkins, and how to hunt and fish in the new land. By the fall of 1621, the Pilgrims had a good harvest. They were grateful for the help of their Native American neighbors and for the food they had grown. So they decided to celebrate. They invited the local Indian chief, Massasoit, and about 90 Native Americans to join their feast. The Wampanoag guests brought deer, and the Pilgrims prepared turkeys, corn, and pumpkin dishes. There were also cranberries and different kinds of squash, all foods that are still part of Thanksgiving today. This 3-day feast became known as the first Thanksgiving. It was a time of friendship, sharing, and gratitude. Even though the celebration looked very different from modern Thanksgiving, the meaning remains the same: to give thanks for what we have. For many years, different colonies and states celebrated their own Thanksgiving days. After the United States became independent, Congress suggested that the nation should have one day a year for giving thanks. In 1789, President George Washington declared November 26th as a day of Thanksgiving. Later in 1863, during the difficult time of the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln made Thanksgiving a national holiday. He chose the last Thursday of November, a tradition that continues to this day. Today, the Thanksgiving meal is one of the biggest and most loved meals of the year. Families usually prepare roast turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, pumpkin pie, and of course, cranberry sauce. Turkey, corn, and pumpkins have become symbols of Thanksgiving, and you can see them on decorations, greeting cards, and in stores during November. Many families also have fun traditions like going around the table and sharing what they are thankful for. Some watch movies together, while others take long afternoon naps after the big meal. Thanksgiving is also famous for football and parades. For millions of Americans, watching football games on Thanksgiving Day is part of the fun. Teams like the Detroit Lions and the Dallas Cowboys play every year, and many families also have their own small games in the backyard. Another major tradition is America's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The first one was held in 1924 in Detroit, Michigan. It started small but grew larger every year. By 1952, it was shown on national television. The most famous parade, however, is the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. It begins at 9 a.m. and lasts for about 3 hours. It features colorful floats, marching bands, Broadway performances, and huge balloons shaped like cartoon characters. One of the highlights is the arrival of Santa Claus at the very end, a joyful sign that the Christmas season is about to begin. Thanksgiving is more than food, football, and parades. It's a time to pause, reflect, and appreciate life's blessings. It reminds people of the importance of community, gratitude, and helping others. Whether it's a big family dinner or a simple meal with friends, Thanksgiving is a day to open our hearts and say, "Thank you for everything we have." Fun fact, the first Macy's Thanksgiving parade didn't use giant balloons. Instead, it had live animals from the Central Park Zoo. The giant character balloons came later, starting in 1927, with Felix the cat as the very first one.